For most of us, selling a house seems pretty straightforward. You list the square footage, highlight the granite countertops, maybe mention the great school district, and then you sort of cross your fingers. But what if I told you that entire approach is fundamentally misguided? Especially when we're talking about luxury properties. It's not just about the amenities, it's about something far more nuanced, something deeply psychological. Okay, let's truly unpack this. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the surprisingly strategic and intensely psychological world of luxury real estate marketing. We've pulled together insights from a leading expert's brand tone and personality guide, a tactical breakdown on selling the feeling, not the fixtures, and a detailed look at my process for marketing luxury listings.
Right. And our mission today is really to cut through the noise, show you how to move beyond just, basic property descriptions. We'll explore what truly captivates high net worth buyers, offering you a kind of shortcut to understanding the precision, the confidence, the authenticity that's just essential in this niche. The core principle you'll grasp, I think, is that luxury isn't a price point, it's a presentation. It's a complete shift in perspective. And frankly, well, it's what separates the truly successful from everyone else in this game.
That's a bold claim right out of the gate. Luxury isn't a price point, it's a presentation.
Huh.
What makes that truth so difficult for most people to grasp, especially when they're, trying to sell a high-end property? What are those common pitfalls sellers fall into when they only focus on the price tag and the tangible features?
Yeah, it's a common misconception, isn't it? Most people assume luxury buyers are these highly rational spreadsheets and soups just poring over financials and spec sheets. But what's truly fascinating here is that they're primarily making emotional, status-driven decisions wrapped in logic. They're not just buying a property, they're buying a lifestyle, an identity, a feeling. As one of our sources puts it so succinctly, luxury buyers buy emotion, not square footage. The high-end appliances or the imported marble, yeah, they're important, but they serve as validation for an underlying emotional desire. They're not the desire itself.
Okay, so if it's not the sheer cost or the physical attributes alone driving the decision, how does a property translate a mere feature into, well, a profound feeling? Can you give us an example that really brings this emotional connection to life?
Absolutely. Think about walking into a truly exceptional home. You ever experience that moment where it feels less like a house and more like you're stepping into a meticulously curated boutique hotel? There's subtle ambient music maybe playing. The lighting is absolutely perfect, highlighting architectural details. The decor feels clean, intentional. And then there's that distinct, luxurious scent, maybe a hint of eucalyptus or something bespoke that just, well, it smells like sophisticated wealth. You're often captivated, right? Sometimes even sold before you've even made it to the kitchen. That's the vibe that sells. It's immersive, it's sensory, and it's deeply emotional.
That's a really powerful way to frame it. That vibe clearly makes a huge impression. So, beyond this general feeling, what are the specific desires that elite buyers consistently prioritize? What are the key, maybe unspoken demands driving their decisions?
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about understanding a hierarchy of core desires that really go beyond square footage or bedroom count. Elite buyers are fundamentally seeking things like privacy, prestige, convenience, emotional ROI, and exclusivity. Notice, these aren't physical attributes, are they? These are feelings, experiences, statements about their life and status. They're looking for what the property does for them emotionally, not just what it is physically.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, but it still feels a bit abstract, perhaps. How does a physical feature like on a property actually become one of these powerful emotions? Let's get really tangible. Can you give us some concrete examples from the sources we looked at?
Certainly. Let's take something like a five-car garage. Okay, on paper, it's just vehicle storage, right? But what it truly offers is far more. It's about housing the Ferrari, the range, the golf cart, the beach cruiser, and let's be honest, the ego. It's a symbol of abundance, passion, the freedom to indulge.
A statement piece in itself.
Exactly. Or consider a zero-edge pool with a breathtaking view. That's not simply a feature. The source says that's a statement. It screams luxury, relaxation, and enviable lifestyle. These elements aren't just pretty. They tap into our innate desire for awe, for spaciousness, for a sense of peace that transcends the everyday. And when we talk about emotional ROI, buyers want to feel something profound. They crave elements like sunset views, high ceilings, dramatic entries, architectural wow moments. So your staging isn't just decorating. It has to bring these feelings to life, amplify them, connect directly to that desired sense of self-worth and belonging.
Okay, so we understand these desires and how certain features can, evoke them. But how do you actually engineer a property's presentation to trigger those specific powerful emotions? How do you move beyond simply describing a space to truly telling a compelling emotional story?
It's precisely that shift. It's moving from description to crafting a narrative. We're painting a vivid picture that resonates deeply with their aspirations. For example, as the material suggests, we're not selling a dining room, we're selling the Thanksgiving experience. You're inviting them to envision festive gatherings, laughter, cherished memories in that space.
You're selling the potential future.
Exactly. Or, we're not selling a living room, we're selling hosting the big game.
Hmm.
You're selling the excitement, the camaraderie, the luxurious comfort of entertaining friends and family. It's about offering them a vision of the elevated life they could lead in that space.
That's a fascinating way to reframe, say, a dining room or living room. But aren't there situations where this kind of emotional storytelling could maybe go too far or feel inauthentic? And what about those subtle, unexpected elements, what you might call luxury signals, that aren't necessarily listed as features but send really strong messages?
That's a crucial point. Authenticity is absolutely everything here. If the story doesn't genuinely align with the home's intrinsic character, its soul, it just falls flat, it feels forced. And that's where those subtle luxury signals come in. These are curated additions that often without a single word being spoken subtly sell the lifestyle that buyers are absolutely willing to pay a premium for. Think about it. A carefully selected designer coffee table book, maybe it suggests intellectual curiosity or artistic taste.
Okay.
A bottle of premium champagne chilling on the counter, hinting at spontaneous celebration and success. An Hermes throw draped artfully over a sofa, whispering quiet elegance, not shouting. Or even a specific branded candle diffusing a sophisticated scent, engaging another sense entirely. These aren't just decor items, they are subtle cues, signifiers that reinforce the aspirational lifestyle. They whisper luxury.
Interesting. So it's about creating an atmosphere, not just showing rooms.
Precisely. And this also brings us to what our sources call brand alignment. You have to ask yourself, if your home could be a watch, is it a Rolex, a Hublot, a Patek Philippe? Each brand carries a distinct appeal, a different set of values, a different story. The marketing needs to match the intrinsic brand of the home itself. Your staging, your photography, your video, your actual words, it all needs to align perfectly with that identified brand to attract the right, discerning buyer who resonates with that specific frequency.
Wow, that truly highlights the depth of this approach. It really sounds like this isn't guesswork or simply a matter of good taste at all. It sounds like, as the source says, math, psychology, and negotiation timing. How does a professional actually execute this level of strategic precision? It requires what one source aptly called Marine Corps discipline. What does that actually look like in practice?
It absolutely requires that level of precision, planning, and relentless execution. No room for error, just like a military operation in some ways. This process goes far beyond sticking a sign in the yard and praying for a buyer. That's just not how it works at this level. It's a structured, six-step approach designed to proactively position, present, and push luxury listings into the hands of the ideal high-net-worth buyers.
Okay, break it down for us. What's step one?
Step one is strategic buyer profiling.
Mm.
This is the absolute foundation. Before any marketing material is even created, you must identify the ideal buyer profile. Are we targeting, say, relocating executives from New York, international buyers from Canada, or maybe Dubai? Are they prestige-driven buyers looking for unique design and exclusivity? Or perhaps investors focused on strong rental yield? This granular profile guides everything that follows. It ensures every effort, every dollar spent, is targeted and efficient.
Right, so you know exactly who you're talking to. Then what?
Step two is premium pricing strategy. Luxury pricing isn't just pulling a number out of thin air. We conduct a deep analysis of the active luxury competition, identify the unique lifestyle upgrades your specific home offers, and really understand the appraisal gaps versus those emotional value drivers we discussed earlier. We consider the specific buyer psychology active at that price tier. The goal isn't just setting a price, it's building a compelling pricing narrative that justifies the property's value, and crucially, creating a sense of urgency and scarcity around it.
Okay, profile, price.
Okay.
What's next? The
Sure.
visuals.
Exactly. Step three, cinematic presentation. Your home isn't just another listing. It deserves to be treated like a feature film, really. This means producing high-end video walkthroughs, often with professional voiceover or carefully selected music to set the mood, utilizing drone aerials, which are especially powerful for waterfront properties, large acreage, or homes with unique roof lines. employing virtual twilight photography to capture those stunning, sophisticated evening moods, and focusing on lifestyle storytelling, showing the home in use, not just sitting empty, people enjoying the pool, gathered around the fire pit. Every single visual asset is meticulously crafted to trigger emotion and drive action, effectively producing a mood that resonates with that profiled buyer.
So you've got the story, the visuals. How do you get it in front of the right eyes?
That's step 4, multi-channel luxury marketing. You simply cannot rely on just the local MLS at this level. It's necessary, but not sufficient. This involves launching targeted campaigns on curated luxury platforms. Think The Real Deal, Mansion Global, James Edition, places where these buyers congregate online. We deploy digital ad campaigns geofenced to affluent zip codes, both across the U.S. and sometimes abroad, depending on the buyer profile. We leverage Instagram and YouTube Reels with strategic hooks designed to capture attention quickly in a scrolling world. And, critically, we employ direct, personal outreach to a carefully cultivated luxury buyer Rolodex and broker network. This isn't just about visibility. It provides presence and credibility where it matters most.
Okay, that sounds comprehensive, but what about properties that need a quieter approach?
Good question. That brings us to step 5, which, when needed, is a private access strategy. For certain ultra-exclusive listings, or sellers who demand discretion, the best approach is often one of quiet confidence. This might involve NDA-required previews before any information is shared widely. It could mean private showings only by appointment, strictly vetted, and strategic off-market exposure, talking directly to investment groups, relocation executives handling C-suite moves, and top high-end buyer agents. This increases exclusivity, creates genuine intrigue, and crucially prevents a unique property from becoming stale in the open market.
Makes sense. And the final step, getting the deal done.
Precisely. Step 6 is smart negotiation and closing. This isn't about adversarial back and forth. It's about proactively shaping the offers before they even come in sometimes. We pre-qualify interest rigorously before scheduling serious showings to avoid wasting everyone's time. We work to structure favorable timelines and terms that benefit our client, looking beyond just the price. We minimize friction by preparing all necessary documents, disclosures, and legal protections well in advance, no last-minute scrambles. And we ensure a seamless closing process with concierge-style service, managing every detail from the initial offer acceptance right through to the final key handoff. It needs to feel effortless for the buyer and seller.
That is an incredibly comprehensive, almost military-grade process, as you said. It's clear that every single detail is considered, nothing left to chance. But sometimes a real-world story truly brings these strategic concepts home, demonstrating the sheer power of understanding this emotional connection. Do you have a case study you can share where this exact process made a tangible difference?
I do, actually. A really clear example. I took over a listing in Boca Raton, stunning modern home. Really slick, but it had been languishing on the market for 4 frustrating months. 0 serious offers. The seller, working with the previous agent, had insisted on marketing it as a family home. Despite its very contemporary, almost minimalist, sleek design, that was the fundamental disconnect.
Okay, so if the previous strategy was selling family home, but the property's intrinsic brand, like you described earlier, is something totally different, what was the turning point? How did you pivot?
It's exactly right. The house absolutely screamed bachelor luxury or maybe power couple retreat. Think sleek limes, the fantastic entertainment space, 0 backyard for kids. The emotional connection they were trying to forge was completely off for the actual target market. The turning point was when we came in and completely repositioned it. We said, okay, let's embrace what this house is. We swapped the staging out, went the cozy stuff. In came sophisticated bar seating. We created a discreet cigar lounge setup in one area. And yes, we even parked a sleek Porsche 911 in the driveway for the photo shoot to really amplify that specific lifestyle message.
Wow, a Porsche.
Yeah, it sounds theatrical, but it sent an immediate, powerful signal about the intended occupant. We stopped trying to appeal to everyone, and we started talking directly, laser-focused, to the right one.
And the outcome? Did this dramatic strategic shift actually pay off?
It absolutely did. It was almost instantaneous. The property sold in 11 days.
11 days, after
Right.
4 months.
11 days. The buyer, a high-net-worth individual, saw the new marketing online, flew in from NYC, walked through the house once, and wired the funds the same day. All cash. It was just perfect, immediate validation of the principle. It was about selling the feeling to the right person. Getting that precise emotional connection right is absolutely everything in this market segment.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener listening in today? We've gone beyond the drywall and the dimensions to see that selling a luxury home isn't about simply listing its features and hoping for the best. It's about deeply understanding the psychological triggers, the aspirations of your ideal buyer. It's about, as the sources emphasize, strategy, precision, and commanding attention. Ultimately, it's about selling the dream, the feeling, not just the physical structure. So, what does this all mean, really?
Well, what's crucial to take away from this deep dive, I think, is the comprehensive approach we've explored. It's smart, tactical, and unfiltered, as one source puts it. It's executed with absolute precision, unwavering confidence, and, importantly, genuine authenticity. It can't feel fake. It's about knowing who your buyer really is at a fundamental, almost intuitive level, and then understanding how to reverse engineer your listing strategy to speak directly to their deepest desires and aspirations. And, this raises an important question.
Indeed, it does. If a luxury home is truly a position asset, meticulously designed and marketed to evoke a specific feeling for a very targeted buyer, what feeling are you selling in your own endeavors, whether it's a product you make, a service you offer, or even how you present your personal brand? How can you apply these principles of deep psychological insight and strategic presentation to better connect with your ideal audience, whoever they may be? Something to think about. Until next time, sell smart, stay sharp, and never ever undersell your own unique asset that deserves the spotlight.